Hi there, and welcome to our luxury high-tech episode. And this one's pretty simple. Despite the complexity of these two vehicles, it all boils down to this. You have the burning desire to spend $1/8 million on a cutting-edge four-door sedan. Do you go with the new school or the school? That's what we're gonna find out on this episode. Few cars have been as disruptive as the Tesla Model S. I can't even count the number of people who at one point or another told me it's never gonna work, it's vaporware, it's a scam, there's no business plan, yet I'm standing next to Model S number 37,977. But Mercedes-Benz knows a thing or two about building impressive cars, like this one, the new S-Class. Depending on how you define it, this is either the 6th or the 11th generation S-Class. Either way, it goes all the way back to 1954, and since that time, it has defined the genre. And this one's already selling like hotcakes. In fact, here in the US, if you add up the competition, the Audi A8, the BMW 7 Series, and the Jaguar XJ, this is selling more than all of them combined. Thing is, the Model S is selling more than the S-Class. One of these two is better than the other, and it's not the one you think. Neither car is a lightweight. The Tesla, with its heavy 85 kilowatt-hour battery, clocks in at 4,633 pounds. Not to be outdone, the Mercedes weighs 4,911 pounds, just shy of 2.5 tons. That said, the Big Benz can rip to 60 miles an hour in 4.7 seconds before hurling down the quarter mile in a very WRX-like 13.3 seconds at 107.4 miles per hour. Braking is good. It can stop from 60 miles an hour in 108 feet, and it can run around our figure eight in an athletic 25.2 seconds. The Tesla is much more like a sports car. It can knock off 60 miles an hour in 3.9 seconds before running the quarter mile in 12.5 seconds with a trap speed of 108.4 miles per hour. You can see that the Mercedes is actually gaining on it in terms of trap speeds. Braking is excellent. It can stop from 60 in 102 feet, and it can run around our figure eight in a very quick 24.8 seconds. What's it like to drive the Model S? Much better than it should be. I forget what a great driving car it is. What I really love doing is putting people behind the wheel of this car that have never driven a Model S before and just say, floor it. They're shocked. They're shocked at just the instant torque, how quick the car is. It's seductive. But here's the thing, range anxiety exists. And I'll tell you, if it says you have 70 miles of indicated range left and it's hot out and you gotta run the AC, you have about 60 miles to go, you're never gonna floor it. You're never gonna get to experience the car. So it limits you, and I just don't find that to be that luxurious. So now we are pulling into one of Tesla's superchargers. These are freakishly cool. The coolest part not being that you can get so much range in such a short amount of time from 440 volts of electricity moving at 90 amps, but that they're free. They're totally, totally free. You just have to own a Tesla. I'm standing here with a dude named Brad because I parked next to him at the supercharger, and like all Model S owners, he loves to talk about the car. How long have you had your Model S?
I've had it about a week now.
1 week?
Yep.
And how do you like it?
400 miles in, I have nothing bad to say about it. It's a dream come true.
Did you ever think you'd buy a Californian car?
Californian, let alone American. I prefer to buy American. I just always liked the cars that came from other countries better. So
Germany, Japan,
yeah, BMWs,
England, yeah.
Lexus. So really happy to be able to get behind a car that was designed from the ground up really well, and that just happens to be American.
Tell you what, Brad, enjoy it. I hope it lasts forever.
Thank you.
Inside this car, the big party trick is this insane screen. You have to experience it to understand how wonderful it is. But I mean, I have Google Maps. I don't have Google Maps. This is better than an iPad. It's clearer, it zooms better. If there's a place that you've previously charged the car, it's on the map. Boom, you hit it, there you are, it takes you right there. Another cool thing about the Model S is it's as much a computer as it is a car. So for instance, I can hit this button right here and I can pull up the release notes and I can find out what's new in version 5.9 of the Model S. And oh, it has hill start assist. And so if you have an old Tesla, they just wirelessly update you and they can keep updating the Model S like that for the life of the car. It's brilliant. The downside, you always, whenever you drive the car, have a giant iPad right in your face. It's just always on, it's always there. So if you're a real tech person, cool. If you're not, if you're kind of like a leather, wood, and metal person, that's really big. This Model S has like $34,000 in options, and a couple of those options are like upgraded leather and the yacht floor and things of that nature. And it's pretty nice in here, although it's not great. I'm trying to think of like another car that would cost $127,000 that kind of have such a meh interior. And again, it's not bad, it's just not special. It almost feels like you're driving something that's unfinished. The electronics are great, they look cool, and they work better than anything else, but it's just sort of not, I don't know, it's not screaming, look at me, like the exterior is. And the S-Class kind of is. As far as looks go, S-Classes aren't supposed to be pretty. They've never been pretty. That's not what they're about. They're about solidity. They're about expressing a comfortable wealthiness. You look at it, you know it's an expensive car, you know the owner is a successful person, but they could have taken it a little further. And now we're in the Mercedes-Benz S550. Right off the bat, there's a sense of raw, unadulterated luxury. This car rides softer. The seats are tremendous. Much more comfortable. I do hear a little bit of engine noise, not a ton, but it is a twin turbo V8, so I get some sound. Although, you know, it's just barely louder than that Tesla. I'm taking the S-Class through a car wash, not because it's dirty, but because I want to show you something. The interior actually looks real good during the daytime, but it looks exceptional at night. It's all LED. In fact, this car has over 500 LEDs. The headlights are all LED. It's just really cool, man. It just makes you feel special. With the exception of Rolls-Royce, this interior kind of smokes them all. It's so elegant. I mean, you've got this, what they call a string of pearls, the vents across the dash. You've got this 2-spoke steering wheel. The speaker grills on this thing, laser cut speaker grills, why not? The seat controls, they actually modeled it after an Ames chair. So instead of just being buttons tacked on like every other car in the world, this looks like kind of an archetypal classic chair. They put so much thought and time into this interior. The flip side of that is the exterior. And this is a very kind of big, imposing, imperious automobile. Looks okay, doesn't blow me away. Looks, well, you know, looks expensive, looks like a thing, but doesn't light my hair on fire. It's also not very efficient. I was looking on my little 25-mile commute to work this morning. I averaged something like 16 miles per gallon, which, you know, compared to the Tesla, is pathetic. I will say they're going to have a hybrid S-Class very soon, and there'll also be a plug-in hybrid S-Class. Plus there's a diesel, plus they're probably going to do an intelligent one, and we know they're doing one that drives itself. Speaking of driving yourself, okay, ready? Look at that, it's driving. I'm not. So I've turned on my Distronic Plus, DTR Plus steering, and the car is actually using stereo cameras mounted right above the rearview mirror to drive itself. It's keeping itself in the lanes, and it's just looking at the car in front of me. It'll put on the brakes if we come to a red light. Car actually can, in a dumb way, drive itself. You can't say go to this address, but it'll just follow the traffic in front of it. It's like a partially self-driving car. That's pretty cool. We've reached the point in the video where I have to choose a winner, and it's very difficult because both cars are incredible. I mean, that's why we matched them up. The Tesla. Well, as we said, it's faster than it needs to be. It drives better than it needs to. It's incredible that you can't even put gasoline into it if you wanted to, yet it has the performance of like a Porsche 911. But then you have the Mercedes-Benz. They've finally caught up, and there's a quality, there's a grandeur to it that you have to experience. With that in mind, the winner of this head-to-head is the Mercedes-Benz S550. This Tesla, it's fabulous, but it's only 90% there. The S-Class, on the other hand, 100%.